The flowers say spring will come.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this episode, we're going to talk about Chang, and she is going to be your best friend in very early in the game. Because there are not many options for you to choose from for a healer very early in the game, and one of the best option that you can choose from is actually Chang. Like a lot of people are going to debate about Yasuo or Chang, but I will say like very early in the game because Yasuo requires you to grind through the chat to get her pieces, but for Changpu you can just get lucky and pull her from gacha. And the thing is that her heal is very unique, in which she uses attack power, attack stats to calculate her heal. And if anybody of you familiar with Summoner's War, she is exactly the same as the Water Fairy. And if you have experience playing that game, Water Fairy is one of the best healer in the game. The reason is because they use attack stats as the number for the heal. And the thing is that, here's the thing, like a lot of the time when early game healer here, they all use percentage as HP as your heal. And your health is not that much very early in the game. So healing 30% of their maximum HP while your maximum HP is very low very early in the game, that's not gonna help you much. But for Changpu, because her heal is based on her attack, you can just give her a war machine equipment or just any other attack stats boost for her heal, and she can heal 100% of your maximum HP. How insane she is! And that is her specialty. And another option that you can choose from, like for an Esper, like not many people realize this, but Berlin is also performing really well in which that she heals using a recovery. You can count her as using a health regen, using that recovery. But then again, we're gonna talk about Changpu in this episode. So let's see at her skill. First skill, attacks one enemy, damage 120% attack. This is a normal attack DPS as per damage. So if you do give her an attack equipment, she can actually deal quite some damage. Like very early is comparable to like tertiary DPS. So, and also it has 100% chance of inflicting AP minus 15% on the enemy. That's a nice bonus. If you do want to increase the skill, this is okay, but very early in the game you don't have that much abilimon. So just focus on getting the second and the third skill up to level 4 here and level 3 here. After that, you can just ignore the first skill. Her job is not to deal damage, so you can just save on your abilimon. Now on the second skill, heals one ally, healing 15% of their maximum HP plus 160% of Changpu's attack. This most of the time gonna heal anybody you target using this skill back to full health. And for every 10% of maximum HP the target loses, healing plus 10%. And the cooldown is only 2 turns. So you can always top up any of your Esper back to full health with Changpu every 2 turns. That is insane. Now the third skill, heals all allies, healing 15% of the maximum HP, plus 100% of Changpu's attack. This also gonna heal quite much, like most of the time is gonna heal more than half your allies' HP, and it grants immunity to all allies for 2 turns. This is the most important one. Because there are not many Esper that can give immunity. Like as far as I can remember, there is not a single rare Esper that can give you immunity. Yes, there is not a single Esper, rare Esper that can give you immunity. So this is going to be your source of immunity. And how good immunity is, immunity prevents debuff to stick on your allies. And the thing is that if you're familiar with RPG games, debuffs are what makes the game from winning to losing and from losing to winning. So if you can put immunity to yourself, you already prevent every single debuff the enemy can throw at you. And that means that you already prevent one whole mechanic of the game from affecting any of your allies. That is how good immunity is and how important immunity is up until very late game. Like immunity is a buff that most of the players sought after a lot. Now, you do want to upgrade these two with Abilimon, but for level itself, you don't want Changpu to be above level 50. Because you still have that many espers that you want to upgrade to level 60. Most of the time it's gonna be your DPS esper. And for a support esper, what you want is Abilimon. So this is a rule of thumb. So because this is probably the first support esper that in our episode series here, the explain series. So rule of thumb, for DPS Esper, you do want their level more than their Abilimon, and for support Esper, you want to focus more on their Abilimon compared to your level. So that's your rule of thumb. So it's more important to reduce the cooldown for a support Esper because they rely mostly on their skill cast. And the number for the skill cast doesn't really matter because any number you do, like any stats you have, it doesn't change the effectiveness of your immunity. And the heal itself is already enough at level 50 because most of the time the second skill gonna heal you back to full health. And because this scales with attack, instead of increasing your level, you can just increase your equipment and you already heal a lot with that. So going into the resonance, just like any other rare esper, resonance only the 2 and the 4 are important and the rest are stats. So this can also help if you don't want to level up to level 60. You can get the stats out of the resonance, and it's really easy to get the resonance max because this is a rare esper. You're gonna pull them a lot if you do a lot of gacha. Now the second resonance, when HP is below 40% healing plus 10%, this is quite alright. Like you do need to get Changpu low enough in order for this to trigger. Like sometimes I do question the integrity of this sentence, like does this mean Changpu's HP or does this mean the target's HP? But it's kind of like really hard to, calculate the number on this. So yeah, we're just gonna imagine how it happens. But then again, if it's our target's HP, then this is gonna be really good, meaning that if your target is low on HP, that means you're healing, you will heal a lot more. But if you require Changpu to be at low HP to trigger this, then it's at least help Changpu to stay alive herself if she managed to get a turn to heal. But again, Changpu, because you focus more on her attack stats, so she doesn't really have that much survivability to begin with. So I do recommend to don't throw too much into attack bonus, but you do want to have some HP bonus as well. Now the fourth resonance, when attacked by a critical hit, damage minus 10%, this increases her survivability, but not much, but it's a nice bonus to have. Now going to the Ascension, the first one is attack, second one is HP, exactly what Changpu need because she doesn't really need the defense. Like HP is more versatile in terms of survivability compared to defense, because if you fight against enemies that ignore your defense, your HP is still the same. It's still gonna block that damage much. Now the third Ascension is the one that gives the immunity to your third skill. So you do want to get this, of course, obviously. And then after that, the fourth is HP, the fifth is attack, this increase your healing, this increase your survivability, and the most important one is speed. Because you do want to have Changpu to be at least like, very early to move. Like if you don't need to heal anyone, still you do want to trigger this skill just for the immunity. So you do want your Changpu to move first and give immunity to all allies before anything can happen to them. And because it has such a low cooldown, it doesn't really matter if you heal your allies while they are still on full health. By the time they get hurt, this skill will be off cooldown already. Now going into the rival rune, this is what CHANG is recommended by the game developer, and it is exactly correct. Because Panacea increase healing efficacy by 30%. So if you do want to argue, like, why not War Machine? Like, War Machine gives you attack 30%, so doesn't it gives you the same? Like, because CHANG heal using attack, so why not use War Machine? The answer is still Panacea is much better than War Machine. The reason is because her heal doesn't entirely rely on her attack alone, because she also heal based on the target's maximum HP, and for every 10% maximum HP the target loses, healing plus 10%. So if you increase CHANG's attack, only the 160% is affected, while the rest stays the same. But if you use Panacea, the 15%, the 160%, the bonus 10%, for every 10% health loss is going to get increased by 30%. Hence why the Panacea still is far superior than the War Machine. Now, for the stats, you can just go with attack bonus, HP bonus, and speed most of the time. So don't go really crazy on this, because I see doesn't really need that much investment. Like, this is over investment because I'm already at the late game. But as long as you have, like, a little bit of attack bonus, a little bit of HP bonus, and some speed, you are already in the OK. She doesn't really that much. She doesn't really need that stats that much. So that's why even though she stays at level 50 without any equipment, she can still heal quite a lot. So this is what I have for my CHANG. It's quite alright, not really perfect, also not really that bad, because I still have a critical rate that I don't really need. But I do have a nice HP, like plus 16,000 HP bonus. I do want to get this to 20,000. It's recommended to go at plus 20,000 if you do want your CHANG to survive. And then attack plus 2,000 something, like above 2,000 is already okay. Speed recommended to go above plus 100 because she needs the speed in order to move fast. So this 2 turns cooldown is going to rotate much faster. And after that, critical rate 0, critical damage 0, accuracy also. Accuracy doesn't really hurt that much because this AP reduction on the enemy relies on your accuracy, so it's quite alright, but it's not something that you want to aim for. And resist is really good because as a support, you don't want your CHANG to get incapacitated, preventing her from healing her allies. Now going into the Divinate. Her Divinate, when the bearer's HP percentage is not above the target, then Orb of Vaxar's final damage plus 20%. So it increased her damage. So the Divinate doesn't really help her supportive role, but yeah, what you do want is this one, the base attack, defense, and base HP. That's gonna help her in doing her job. So that's it for CHANG. Like, if you do want to see her heal, I'm gonna go to the VR battlegrounds here and I can show you the heal. Like, I'm gonna put Clara there and together with CHANG and see which one heal more. Okay. So I'm gonna put CHANG at maximum level. Let's see. So this is what Clara heal, because this one is gonna heal based on target's maximum HP, 35%. So this is a fixed heal on her allies' HP, not by her own HP. So I'm gonna use the normal skill to see how much heal does Clara deal. So 3,800 times 2, so that means it's around 7,600. Yeah, 7,600. Now we're gonna see how much CHANG heal. Let's see on the second skill first. That's it, 19,000. Like, what the hell kind of heal is that? See, it's comparable to Clara's third skill for a low health Esper. Like Changpu got 14,000 by Clara's third skill heal, because Changpu doesn't have that much HP to begin with, so it's 35% of Changpu's maximum HP, so that's 14,000. Now we're gonna see her third skill heal. Let's see how much heal does she heal now. 11,000 and 15,000, you see? So she can heal comparatively well compared to a legendary Esper. So that's why for a very long time, if you don't get lucky into getting any other healer from like the epic lineup and the legendary lineup, then you can always rely on your Changpu to heal your allies. The only downside of Changpu is that because she heals using her attack, so she does need to be careful about her survivability compared to Clara. Because Clara heals based on her maximum HP, so Clara have a ton of HP to begin with, so she doesn't really in risk of dying, and while still dishing out a ton of heal, while Changpu has a risk of dying by herself. Like if the enemy focus on her too much, then she is gonna be in trouble. But another advantage of Changpu is that most of the time at a legendary level Esper, their heal has like a cooldown of 4 turns, sometimes even 5 turns. And Changpu only have 2 turns and 3 turns heal cooldown. So in a long fight, if you do require a ton of healing, then Changpu is gonna be your go-to healer. Compared to other healer Esper, like I'm gonna show you here, like Helena and Yasuhua. Helena and Yasuhua also can heal with their own specialization, but Helena have 3 turns cooldown on her heal, and then Yasuhua got 3 turns cooldown on her heal. So Changpu having 2 turns cooldown on her heal, and both of her second and third skills are heal. Instead of like Yasuhua only her second skill is a heal, and also Helena only her third skill is a heal. Being able to use 2 heals back to back is the advantage that none other healer Esper at the rare level, tier level, can have. So that's why Changpu is going to be your best healer for a very long time. That doesn't mean the other healers are bad. Like we're gonna talk about this other healer specialty in another episode. Like they also have their own specialties, and when you want to use them instead of Changpu. So tonight, that's all from Changpu. Hope you get a lot of it out of this video, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.